Stock Tacoma, 33-inch tires. Let's make those work. So I borrowed this wheel and tire from my brother, and this is a zero offset 17-inch wheel wrapped in a BF Goodrich KO2 tire. This is a 285 70 17-inch tire, and I'm gonna do some experimenting to try to get these to fit in this truck. Most people will tell you that you need to lift your truck in order to fit these, but let me tell you why that shouldn't be the reason to fit these tires. So when you get a big tire and you put it on your truck without lifting it, you'll experience rubbing either from back here or up in the front. So people will say, oh, lift the truck and you get no rubbing. But remember, your suspension moves up and down, whether you're pulling into a driveway or taking your truck off-roading. This thing is gonna go up, it's gonna go down, and you're gonna be turning while you're doing that. So yeah, you may be okay lifting the truck and fitting those big tires, but as soon as you take a turn, then you're gonna start experiencing rubbing still. So my plan is to throw on this wheel and tire and do some trimming and figure out where I need to trim in order to make it where it doesn't rub. Now, in order for me to test the fitment with the suspension going up and down, I am gonna have to remove the strut assembly. So I went ahead and removed the strut. I undid the sway bar and also took off the tie rod. So now this thing turns freely and I can move this up and down. Okay, so now I have the wheel somewhat bolted in. I can move it freely side to side. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start lifting it up and see what it's rubbing on. So with the wheel at full compression, resting on the bump stop right there, it looks like as far as the back, it's gonna rub, of course, on the plastic, which I'm sure all of us knew. You see it's already rubbing right there. But as far as the cab mount, it looks like it would just miss it. And mind you, I have the stock control arms. So if you guys are running an aftermarket control arm with a lift kit, it fixes the caster. Basically, that fixes the caster by pushing the control arm a little bit back, which means your wheel is going to be pushed a little bit towards the back, which may cause a rub here where you will have to use a body mount chop. So like I said, it looks like it is rubbing on the plastic, so probably gonna have to trim right here and get rid of this whole entire plastic wheel well. So as for the front, when we turn, it hits the bottom of the bumper. So pretty much this spot right here, which isn't too bad. So I'm gonna start by cutting this off and we'll see how this goes. With all the plastic out of the way, it looks like we are clear from the front. As you can see, I'm spinning the wheel right at the lock on the turn. There's no rubbing as I'm spinning it and turning the wheel to be straight. It isn't until we get to the back where we start experiencing rubbing again, but not from the plastic anymore, But now from the pinch weld right here for the body, you see the white, and that's where it gets stuck on. Still, we still have enough space between the body mount and the tire. So it looks like what we need to do now is chop here a little bit and fold it in, like you guys may have seen from the other videos out there. When people are putting lift kits, they would cut this and hammer it in. So it looks like we're gonna have to do that. So before I cut into the seam right here, I'm gonna clean this area the best I can. So when I spray the rubberized coating, that it has a nice clean surface to bite on, and that way none of that coating falls off in the future.
Two hours later.
All right, now with this hammered in and with the rubberized undercoating sprayed, spinning this at full lock, doesn't rub. Start turning the wheel. This is as close as it gets, which is all the way at full bump, which this is the most extreme this will ever experience. But when it does reach that extreme, it doesn't hit anything. And now turning towards the bumper at the steering lock, hitting the metal, does not rub at all. Now, all that's left to do is to do the passenger side the exact same way. So this is what the truck would look like if it was sitting with just 33s, no lift. I only have the one wheel. Like I said, I'm borrowing this from my brother, so I don't have one for the back. But I went ahead and trimmed this side, trimmed the other side. I think the back should be okay. There should not be any trimming in order to fit the 33s back there. And like you guys saw earlier, with this thing at full bump and turning side to side, there was no rubbing at all. So I'm pretty happy with that. Now all that's left to do is to get a set of my own. So I'll be right back. So for my wheels, I have the Method Race Wheels MR309 grid in matte black, wrapped with some Nitto Ridge Grapplers 285/70/17s. These wheels are a zero offset, so they stick out just the right amount. It's been about 2 weeks since installing this setup and have experienced zero rubbing at all. I went ahead and took my truck up to Lytle Creek, California, went through some of the trails up there, and everything went perfectly fine. These tires have all the clearance they need in order to be able to work properly. Hope this video helps you guys figure out what it takes to get these 33-inch tires to fit on your Tacoma, and along with these wheels, them being a zero offset. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.